Did you know that some types of gas can quietly signal bigger problems inside your body? It's true. Passing gas is normal, but if it smells bad, feels strange or happens too often, it could be a sign that something's wrong with your gut or overall health. After the age of 60, these signs become even more important to pay attention to. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 types of farts that older adults should not ignore. Each one may seem harmless at first, but beneath the surface, they can reveal everything from food intolerances to serious digestive conditions. Catching the signs early can save you a lot of discomfort later. This isn't about shame or embarrassment. It's about paying attention to your body and staying ahead of problems before they become something worse. Stick around until the end, because some of these might surprise you, and learning what to look for could make all the difference in how you feel day to day. We're here to help you stay sharp, stay aware, and stay in control of your health, even in the most unexpected ways. Let's begin with number 1. Foul-smelling farts that linger unnaturally long. When a fart smells so bad it makes your eyes water or hangs in the air long after you've left the room, that's not just embarrassing. It's your gut trying to tell you something. Most smells come from sulfur produced by certain bacteria breaking down food, but unusually strong, rotten egg-like odors that stick around may mean there's deeper trouble brewing. As we age, the balance of bacteria in our gut changes, with good strains decreasing and less helpful ones growing out of control. This can lead to improper breakdown of food fermentation in the intestines, and you guessed it, gas that smells far worse than it used to. And if that gas keeps showing up after meals even when you haven't eaten anything unusual, it could be a sign of a condition called dysbiosis where the bacteria in your gut are out of balance. Sometimes foul-smelling gas can also be linked to poor absorption of nutrients, such as in cases of fat malabsorption or lactose intolerance. When food isn't broken down properly, it travels further through the digestive tract and feeds bacteria in the lower colon. Those bacteria in turn create strong-smelling gases as a byproduct. This is especially true if you're also noticing bloating, cramping, or greasy stools. Take Richard, age 73. He noticed that after dinner, especially meals with cheese or cream, he would pass gas that even made him leave the room, and he lived alone. At first he brushed it off, but over time the smell got stronger and he felt more bloated too. When he finally talked to his doctor, he found out he had developed lactose intolerance, something he never dealt with when he was younger. A simple change in diet brought relief within a week. The point is, when your gas starts to smell worse than usual and it lingers in a way that feels unusual, it's worth taking seriously. It could be your gut asking for help. The good news is that many of these issues are treatable, often through changes in diet, probiotics, or identifying food sensitivities, but you won't know unless you listen, and listening starts with noticing even something as simple and yes, as smelly as a fart. Number 2. Excessive gas with sudden bloating or cramping. Passing gas every now and then is normal, but when it starts happening constantly, multiple times an hour every day, and it's paired with uncomfortable bloating or sharp abdominal cramps, it may be more than just a diet issue. For older adults, this kind of excessive gas often means that digestion isn't working as smoothly as it once did, and your gut might be struggling to process certain foods the way it used to. As we age, our digestive system slows down. Enzymes that once broke down proteins, fats, and carbs efficiently may not work as quickly or in the same amounts as before. That slower digestion leads to food sitting longer in your stomach or intestines, which can cause fermentation, and in turn a large buildup of gas. And when that gas doesn't pass easily, it stretches the intestines, causing bloating and cramping that can come on suddenly and make everyday activities uncomfortable. The tricky part is these symptoms can look like a lot of different things. Some older adults may assume it's just constipation, others think they've eaten something that didn't sit right, but when the bloating becomes a pattern, when the gas feels constant and the cramping returns day after day, it may signal something like a food intolerance, a slowdown in gut motility, or even early signs of bowel obstruction or diverticular issues. Take Nancy, 76. She had always enjoyed healthy meals, including lots of vegetables and whole grains, but she started noticing she felt extremely full after eating even a small salad, and later in the day she'd experienced sharp cramps and gas that just wouldn't stop. It turned out her fiber intake was too high for what her slower-moving digestive system could now handle. By adjusting the types and timing of her meals, her symptoms improved dramatically. What's important here is not to ignore what your gut is trying to say. When excessive gas becomes painful or is paired with pressure in the lower abdomen, especially if your stomach feels hard to the touch or distended, that's a sign it's time to check in with a doctor. It could be a simple issue, or it could be your body waving a red flag that something deeper needs attention. Excess gas with sudden bloating and cramping isn't just annoying, it's your body's way of asking for help, and the sooner you listen, the better chance you have to relieve the discomfort and prevent it from becoming something more serious. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 3. Very frequent farts that disrupt daily life. There's a difference between the occasional puff of gas and flatulence that becomes part of your routine, so frequent in fact that it starts getting in the way of your day-to-day comfort and confidence. When gas shows up non-stop during conversations, while you're out in public, or even when you're just sitting still, It may be time to look at what's going on behind the scenes because frequent gas isn't always just about food. It can be about your gut's overall health and how it's functioning. Now that you're older. In your younger years you might have been able to eat just about anything without consequence, but past 60 or 70 your digestive tract becomes more sensitive. Certain foods linger longer, transit time slows, and the bacteria in your colon may shift in ways that cause more fermentation and more gas. This can turn something like a simple bowl of soup into a full afternoon of pressure, rumbling, and repeated discomfort. And when gas is coming up dozens of times a day, that's no longer normal. That's a message. Frequent farting can also indicate that the microbiome, the community of bacteria that lives in your gut, has fallen out of balance. Antibiotic use, long-term medication, stress, and even aging itself can alter this balance. When this happens, your body might be overrun with gas-producing bacteria, and each meal feeds that fire just a little more. That's why it often feels like no matter what you eat, the result is the same bloating, noise, and the need to excuse yourself constantly. Consider Gerald, 81. He started to notice he was passing gas 20, sometimes 30 times a day. At first he joked about it, but soon he was avoiding social outings and even his weekly church group because he was afraid he couldn't control it. It wasn't until his doctor suggested a stool test and found signs of bacterial imbalance that he realized this wasn't just a getting older thing. It was something he could actually fix with targeted probiotics and a few diet adjustments. The difference was noticeable within weeks. The emotional toll of frequent gas can't be overlooked either. Many older adults feel embarrassed, withdrawn, or nervous about being around others for fear of losing control, and that kind of isolation only makes health worse. That's why addressing gas at its root isn't just about digestion, it's about dignity, confidence, and staying socially connected. So if your gas is coming more often than it used to, multiple times an hour or consistently throughout the day, it's worth looking into. It could be your body's way of saying it needs support, better balance, or a change in what you're feeding it. And the good news, with the right care, it's almost always something that can improve. Number 4, farts with oily residue or spotting in underwear. If you notice that your gas leaves behind an oily stain or greasy feeling in your underwear, that's something to pay close attention to. It might feel uncomfortable to talk about, but ignoring it can mean overlooking a serious issue related to fat digestion and how your body processes nutrients. This kind of symptom isn't just inconvenient, it could be pointing to malabsorption problems in the pancreas, gallbladder, or small intestine. Normally, when you eat fats like butter, cheese, or oils, your pancreas releases enzymes to break them down, and your gallbladder helps by releasing bile to move those fats along. But when these organs aren't working properly, the fat doesn't break down fully. Instead, it passes through your digestive system partially undigested, and when that happens, it often shows up as greasy stools or sometimes as oily residue in your gas. This is especially common in people with a history of gallbladder removal, chronic pancreatitis, or certain autoimmune conditions, but it can also creep up silently, especially in older adults whose digestive efficiency has quietly declined. And since the body needs fat to absorb important nutrients like vitamins A, D, E, and K, missing these signs can eventually lead to fatigue, weight loss, or nutritional deficiencies without any obvious warning until it's already taken a toll. Let's take Dorothy, 74. She began noticing small spots in her underwear after passing gas. Nothing dramatic, but enough to catch her off guard. At first she thought it might be a bladder issue, but a quick visit to her doctor revealed the issue wasn't urinary at all. She was experiencing steady or fatty gas because her pancreas wasn't producing enough enzymes. With enzyme replacement therapy and some dietary adjustments, the problem improved dramatically. The real concern with oily or greasy gas is that it's easy to dismiss. It's easy to chalk it up to something you ate or just the way bodies change with age, but the truth is your body is trying to tell you that it's not absorbing something important, and if left unrest, it can lead to weakness, unintentional weight loss, or trouble regulating cholesterol and blood sugar. So if you ever notice unusual spotting, especially after eating rich or fatty meals, don't just clean up and move on. Keep track of it. See if there's a pattern and bring it up with your doctor, because this kind of fart isn't just a smell, it's a clue, and catching it early can help you protect the strength, energy, and nutritional balance your body needs to stay healthy and independent. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, farts accompanied by sudden change in bowel habits. When gas starts showing up alongside changes in your regular bathroom pattern, whether that means more frequent trips, sudden constipation, or stools that look very different from your usual, that's not something to brush off, especially after the age of 60. Any new digestive symptom that comes on quickly and sticks around can be a warning sign that your gut is reacting to something more serious. Normally your digestive system settles into a pretty stable rhythm, but if your gas becomes more frequent and it's paired with looser stools, constipation that lasts several days, or sudden shifts between the two, it may be a sign of something like irritable bowel syndrome, inflammation, or even early signs of diverticulitis. And while not all changes are dangerous, the combination of new gas and new bowel symptoms should never be ignored. The body often speaks in patterns, and a change in your gut rhythm is one of its loudest voices. That includes stools that are suddenly pencil thin, contain mucus, float consistently, or become unusually pale or dark. Each of those shifts, especially when paired with unusual gas, can point to a change in how your intestines are functioning. It might be related to diet, stress, or medication. But it could also signal inflammation, blockage, or abnormal tissue growth that needs medical attention. Take Arnold, 79. He noticed he was passing more gas than usual, but what really got his attention was that his bowel movements became unpredictable. Some days he couldn't go at all, and others he'd barely make it to the bathroom in time. When he mentioned it during a routine appointment, his doctor ordered a few tests. It turned out to be early-stage diverticulitis, a condition that when caught early is manageable but can cause real trouble if ignored. It's also worth mentioning that sudden digestive changes could be your body reacting to new medications or supplements. Many older adults take several prescriptions, and even small shifts like adding a new vitamin or changing a dose can throw off your gut's delicate balance. The gas is often the first signal, followed by stool changes shortly after. So if you've always had a fairly steady routine and now things feel off, pay attention, especially if the gas is louder, smellier, or more painful than usual, and it's coming with new or worsening bowel symptoms. These changes are your body's early alert system, and in many cases early attention means faster, easier treatment and peace of mind that nothing more serious is hiding beneath the surface. Shriyuri, final thoughts. So let's take a moment to reflect. Gas might be a part of everyday life, and yes, it can be funny sometimes, but as we age, even the smallest changes in how our body functions deserve our attention. The 5 types of farts we talked about today aren't just awkward, they're important signals that something might be off or that your gut is asking for a little more support. If your gas has changed in smell, become too frequent, shows up with bloating, oily spotting, or is paired with a change in your bowel habits, don't ignore it. These aren't just signs of aging, they're signs that something inside may need care, and getting ahead of it doesn't mean you're overreacting. It means you're being smart. It means you're listening to your body and respecting the quiet way it asks for help. There's nothing shameful about any of this. In fact, it's empowering to understand your own health better, even in the areas no one wants to talk about. When you catch small changes early, you protect your independence, your energy, and your quality of life. That's what it's all about. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.